Yo, what's going on then, guys? It's your boy Ben Gregson, or Dilemma here, coming at you with a new YouTube video, and something borderline ranty. So like, this format has a really big issue coming into this new ban list, and if it isn't addressed, I don't know what this game's gonna be like, right? So, look at this prankers list. It's probably like complete trash. This was something I made like a month ago, and you'll notice like it's pretty standard, right? You have your prank kids stuff, your adventurer stuff, and whatever. But when your prank kids stuff doesn't work, it appears that you can do this secret technique called a DPE Verte Jutsu, which is a really big problem, right? And every deck can do this, like outside of what, flow underease or like stun. But like, look, this does the DPE Jutsu. We've got Pendulum Prank Kids, which is something I was messing around with. Oh look, the DPE Jutsu returns. We've got Sad, which is, you know, the brave piled, and look, if you get stopped, you DPE Jutsu, you Fusion Destiny Jutsu, right? Some like Naruto bullshit, where regardless of what your hand is or how bad it is, you can somehow just make Verte and shit out an Enforcer, which quite often Enforcer and like 2 or 3 hand traps usually wins you the game anyway, because all you have to do is survive and then you access code their ass and they die anyway. And this has become like a really big problem for the game since DPE's release, and people are like, oh, but like people could have done this with Dragoon, and I'm like, yeah, but Dragoon doesn't come back every single time. And it's outable by an access code that you make 5300 and run it over with. Granted, it takes some resources, but we're in a Yu-Gi-Oh game where half of your engine spits out 4 monsters anyway, because that's just how fucking Yu-Gi-Oh is at the moment. And then you have, like, Dark the Dark Charmer, which brings back your opponent's DPE, so if you clear their DPE, you do your own fucking DPE Jutsu, and then summon their DPE as well, and now you're, like, double DPEs up, and they have no responses to it, and they have to play their normal summon.deck prank kids deck into your singular DPE summon. And it's not even like these decks, like, look, like Sword Soul, you know, relatively cool. What's this? The Red Eyes Fusion Jutsu. These are all lists that I was given, and like, this does the exact same thing as the other lists do. You do your Sword Soul stuff, and whoops, my Sword Soul stuff didn't work. Guess I'm activating Red Eyes Fusion, and I'm just winning the game. Like, Plunder Patrol, a very honest deck. There's no magical DPE Jutsu, but there's still an entire Adventurer package and a bunch of hand traps, so if you don't do Plunder Patrol stuff, you still go Griffin Rider, Ogre Ash, Veiler, and your opponent just has to hold it. And on top of that, their entire engine outs back rows, so you don't have to play back row removal anymore, because whoop-de-doo, I have an equip spell that just bounces shit. So you get hard punished for playing a trap deck. Like, good lord, if anybody plays something other than Eldritch right now, trap-wise, you're probably just throwing your entire DB rating into the bin. And sure, regionals are different because you get to play on the bottom tables until you get to the top tables where you realize, you know, this deck has a chance, and then you get Griffin Rided and Rideable Dragoned, and you play against Flower Underease, which is like your only matchup you have a good chance against. And like, maybe Despia to some extent. But wait, your trap deck just gets shat on by DP and Dracoback, and you just have to deal with it. Let's have a look at another list. This is cool. This is based. Where's the DPE? Exactly, we won't talk about this till another video. This is just a hint. More 60-card prank kids. Look, DPE Jutsu, standard. Brave prank kids, DPE. Branded Lyrillust Tri-Brigade. This is my deck that I'm playing at the moment. Oh no, there's no DPE, but there's Branded Fusion and Hand Traps. Basically the same thing. There's Tatsim's Megalith deck. There's no DPE Jutsu here. This is cool. This is kind of based. But once again, it's just how could other stuff. And then a random Azathoth, which nobody's addressing, which will get addressed eventually, but there you go. What else have we got? We got some Zodiac. What is this? This is DPE's. This is like DPE Turbo, but sometimes you get Zeused. And not to mention, your DPE is backed up by 2 defensive cards, 4 defensive cards, 6 defensive cards, 9 defensive cards, 12 defensive cards, 15 defensive cards, 17 defensive cards, 20 defensive cards, 23 defensive cards to back up your DPE. It's so dumb, bro. Like, you jam the Adventurer package in here, and you might as well have a competitive deck because you play Fusion Destiny and Adventurer cards, and that's just how it is. And, like, Despia has no room to thrive right now, despite Despia being really strong, and I 100% think it's correct to be playing Despia right now, because everybody's still main decking Nib. So, like, your Despia deck basically null and voids 3 cards in that deck, and quite often more than that, because they're all shit scared of the Prank Kids deck and all those other decks, that they're not prepped for Despia enough, and it just boggles my brain, bro. Like, I don't mean to make this some sort of rant, and I appreciate you guys coming to tune in, but this format's in ruins, bro. Like, this format is last format, but worse, and I didn't think that was possible. Like, this isn't even discussing, like, one of the glaring problems, you know? Like, you know, everybody's favourite artifact card, which right now isn't seeing play. How bonkers is that? The deck that is playing this is significantly worse than the other decks that aren't playing this, because you're either jamming a shit ton of hand traps in your deck to stop this, or if you're not jamming a shit ton of hand traps in your deck, you're jamming droplets and chalice in your deck, and you're still dealing with this. It boggles my head. I try not to get tilted by this sort of thing, but the entire game's in fucking ruins right now, bro. I don't want to play this shit. I hit 800 rating, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like, I was trying to go to top 200, and then I lost to Eldritch DP because the guy hard opened Fusion Destiny after getting Veiled and Ashed, and then I Ashed his Hulk of Firebrax on the following turn, and he just drew his one-off call buying 60 cards. Like, you're just fucking good, bro, sure. I lost to a Red Eyes deck that just like pure ass Red Eyes that was jamming triple Evenly, triple Droplets, triple Chalice, triple Shifter, and triple Red Eyes Fusion, and they were just summoning Dragoon raw with a bunch of Floodgates afterwards. And this format is so, like, you can't prep for stuff like this because you're prepping for all the good decks, that you're playing against some rogue deck at the bottom end of, like, table 734, and you're just losing to the decks that are dog water because your deck's prepped for all the stuff that's meta. Like, it wouldn't surprise me right now if the meta decks start losing to fucking Pacifist Spiral. That's how fucked this format is. Like, you could probably play Pacifist Spiral to a legitimate level if you were prepped for DPE. That's all you care about, is if you're prepped for DPE, being able to stop all of your traps and stuff, and being able to pop your field spell, and you have, like, some miraculous way to stop it, say, like, Sea Stealth Attack or whatever. You could legit play Pacifist right now, and it'd probably do well. Like, all of the dog shit decks are good, because everybody's prepping for Despia, everybody's prepping for Prank Kids, and everybody's prepping for, like, all of the 7.5 top tier decks right now that you can't fully prep for. So if you're trying to play your rogue deck, like, say, Pacifist Spiral or whatever the fuck, you're gonna lose to one of these 7 decks regardless, and if you go into a tournament and play against one of these 7 decks, you're gonna get shat on. Throwback to Cardiff Regionals 2 months ago, when I played Blind Second Sky Striker with the intent that if I played against every combo deck in the room, I was 100% topping the event because it was built to beat combo, and then I played against 5 Eldritch. Fuck this game, man.